What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Welcome to the Optimus Fantasy Football channel. It is Thursday, and that means it's the start of Week 11, and it's time for the Optimus Fantasy Show. I'm Nate Polvogt, joined by my favorite co-host with the most. I don't know where that came from. Good God.
Most.
I don't know. We're going to go with it. Kacey, how are we today?
Pretty awesome. I say that. I'm not awesome. I'm okay. It's going.
You've got Christmas lights up, which I think is pretty cool. I love that. We've got an inflatable turkey in our front yard.
Rad.
They're not expensive. It was like $25 on Amazon. And I don't know. This whole neighborhood's all festive. So we're going
Gotta
with it.
Join the party.
Yeah, why not? Might as well be. I mean, it's the holiday season. Thanksgiving is coming up. We've got to slate 3 Thursday games this year on Thanksgiving. The night game, of course, is going to be a very good one. I know it's Denver and Kansas City. That's going to be a slugfest between those two teams. We love that. We've also got Denver and Kansas City this week, but we're going to talk about that later, Kacey. Let's go ahead and get on into it here. The biggest story of the week, Jameis, well, maybe not the biggest. There's one more we're talking about that might be just as big, but Jameis Winston is officially starting for the New York Giants. Rookie Jackson Dart, now concussed again, will take the bench. A lot of developments in New York this week, Kacey. Brian Daboll was fired. Not that big of a surprise. He was letting Jackson Dart just get absolutely murdered.
Annihilated. Yep.
Annihilated. 4 concussion checks for Dart this season. 2 concussions.
Yeah.
Like at what point with your rookie quarterback, you've got to say enough is enough.
Right.
We understand you're trying to save your job. You're running this kid like crazy. He's not going to make it through the full season. So we get Jameis Winston, if even for only one game. Interim head coach Mike Kafka has made it official today, earlier this morning. If you were following the news.optimusfantasy.com account on Blue Sky, you would know this already. So I want to know, Kacey, what do we think about this for the Giants offense? Last time that Jameis Winston was a starter was last season in Cleveland. 7 starts, 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and 5 fumbles, 2 of which he lost. But he made Cedric Tillman relevant.
Right.
He made Jeudy all of a sudden relevant, which carried through to the end of the season when Flacco came back. It's making me wonder. So these two guys, what did Tillman and Jeudy have in common? Really high ADOT, right? These guys are downfield threats. Jameis has a big arm. Of course, he had that 5,000-yard, 35 touchdown, 35 interception season. But we've got 2 guys specifically, well, 3 guys really. Darius Slayton's a high ADOT guy, the veteran. Don't know how much he's realistically going to be able to contribute to this offense. But Jalen Hyatt has a 21-yard ADOT this season, and Gunnar Olszewski, a 21.3 ADOT. Looking at this matchup this weekend, the New York Giants are up against the Green Bay Packers. This is a team with a very good pass rush. We're going to see Jameis get sacked. We're going to see interceptions. If you're looking for a defense to start and Green Bay somehow happens to be on your waiver wire in your league, or DFS, which Mike Reedy and I will get to tomorrow, Packers become a really good option because this does become an interception factory. But we care less about that for guys like Hyatt and Olszewski. Do you think, Kacey, that these are 2 guys who are going to see an increase in work because Jameis Winston is a get-it-down-the-field guy?
He is a get-it-down-the-field guy. He does like to let it fly. And, I think they're good flyers if you are in need of somebody to, hope can have, the quarterback change can do something for them, right? I really don't feel that comfortable starting them, though. I think that let me look at it like this. I feel okay with starting them in my flex just for the chance that it's the real deal, know. So.
Yep. Well, we do have 2 buys this week. We've got the Saints and the Colts, so you're not missing a ton receiving wise that might necessitate this, but we've also got injuries. We've got guys like Terry McLaurin who are not playing. Ricky Pearsall is going to be out. Garrett Wilson is looking at a 3 to 4 week.
That's crazy, man.
Right. So
and Alec Pierce is on bye, and he's been the guy I've been putting in my flex.
And Michael Pittman, Chris Olave has been reliable. Juwan Johnson is a guy who's been reliable. You might be flexing. I think more so for me, Olszewski than Hyatt. Hyatt has a total of 9 targets this season. They came in weeks 5, 6, and 7. Otherwise, he has not really seen the field. He got some kick return work in week 9 against San Francisco. We thought we were going to see him week 10 against Chicago. That never materialized. If he sees the field, I mean, given that Malik Neighbors is hurt, Wan'Dale Robinson is more of a short target, short A-dot guy. I like him probably, honestly, less than Gunnar Olszewski, because we've actually at least seen Olszewski get a little bit of work the last couple of games. He had a target against San Francisco. Then he had a 38% snap share this past Sunday against Chicago. He had 2 targets, though he didn't get a catch.
Yeah, he's out there, so you can definitely get him.
Yeah,
they're all
very available. Specifically, Olszewski, 0% rostered on Sleeper. Same with Hyatt. You're going to find similar things on ESPN. Unless you're in a deep league or like Dynasty, they're going to be available. Now, again, this is break glass in case of emergency. I don't have much interest in going out and getting these guys and replacing a known starter, a known asset with them.
Of course.
But if you're at a point where you have a bunch of zeros and a bunch of buys and a bunch of injureds and guys who are questionable, likely to not play, guys like Ricky Pearsall, I'm okay throwing one of these guys out. 5 points is better than no points.
Exactly. And who knows? Like, I had to start Jalen Naylor, and we all know what happened there. It worked out, so you never know.
Right? Exactly. Now, with this backfield, I mean, you're going to assume neither one of these running backs are going to be worth it. Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary, maybe Devin Singletary. I will say last week in Chicago, he had 8 carries for 20 yards, 3 targets, 3 catches for 53. That's at least some usage. We're not seeing the receiving work out of Tracy whatsoever. So there's some PPR value to him if you need to pick one of these running backs to throw out there. I'm not confident in it. I'm not confident in either one.
Yeah, I'm not either. Singletary, if I had to, just because of change of pace and hustle plays that he can do. But yeah, I'm not really wanting to touch either of those guys.
Well, the thing too we have to remember is Green Bay offense really isn't that high scoring, and New York's defense is in theory really good. Like, they've got all the parts to be really good. When you've got guys like Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns on your line, like, you should be getting at the quarterback more. With the change at head coach, maybe we see this defense playing a little bit harder. We see this a lot. I think this is a trap game for Green Bay. I think everybody's going into this with Green Bay thinking, oh yeah, we've got this, whatever, it doesn't matter. But new coaches tend to infuse a little bit of ire into teams and anger and fight. And we could see that this week, especially with Winston, because he's such a fun locker room personality. So don't be surprised if they put it on Green Bay. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they won by a touchdown to 2.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not saying that's what's going to happen.
I can see it, though.
But I could see it happening because, dude, what has Green Bay done lately? They've been hard to watch.
Yeah, that has.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's going to, if nothing else, it's going to be fun to watch him sling the ball around like a maniac, like we know he's going to do.
Yeah,
so
it's going to at least be entertaining.
I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that. Not my best game of the week, which we'll get to later, but it's close. I really like this one. Before we move on, I want to throw this up here. Mr. Doug Royer saying hello y'all.
Father.
What is up, Doug? Thanks for tuning in. We always appreciate it. Now, for our second segment, of course, if you don't live in a cave, the AJ Brown drama this week. On a Twitch stream, reportedly when asked how things are going, Kacey, his reply was, if you got me on Fantasy Man, get rid of me.
Well, that isn't what you want to hear. That's not what you want to hear.
No, of course it's not what you want to hear. But like the reality of it is, like, look at what AJ Brown has been this year. 54 targets, for Brown. 3 games. That's a ridiculous rate for him. I mean, he's training to just over 100 targets on an entire season. He's in his prime. Like, this is insane. 59.6% catch rate. Kacey, that is the lowest catch rate of his entire career.
Wowzers.
Right. However, He has the highest route percentage of his career, 95.9, and he's on pace for 513 routes this season. That would be the third highest total of his career. The problem here is Jalen Hurts, right?
Yeah, right. It's pretty.
Well, and you look at this offense, they're not throwing the ball. The last three games, Hurts has 23, 20, and 26 attempts, 19, 15, and 15 completions. Week 7 against Minnesota, he had 326 yards and 3 touchdowns, but that didn't really benefit A.J. Brown, right? Like,
right. And
we're just seeing a complete, it feels like a complete de-evolution of this passing game. What was good for the last couple of seasons, all of a sudden Jalen Hurts has regressed to a mediocre passer. Maybe he always was, but then they can't run the ball either. Like, this is all very confusing because you look at Saquon Barkley, he's RB11, but he was a guy who was being drafted as RB2, RB3. And you get these weeks where, like week 7 against Minnesota, he had 5 fantasy points, 8 against the Giants in week 6, 9 against the Rams in week 3, 13 last week against Green Bay. And I'll give you that Green Bay's defense is good. With a player like Saquon Barkley, when things are going right, that shouldn't matter.
Yeah. And it's funny, too, as a fantasy manager, to be ahead by just a little bit and see that somebody has like A.J. Brown or somebody from that roster on their team and feel like, hey, I could actually still win. Like, that blows my mind.
I know. Well, A.J. Brown's wide receiver 39 right now in PPR.
This is mind-boggling.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really bad. It's really bad. On a level of scale, it's a scale of 1 to 10. How worried are you rest of season about A.J. Brown? 10 being super freaking worried.
I'm going to go 9 because I don't like to be that extreme, but I still want to be extreme with it. So I'm going to go 9 because it's not looking good right now. And we're already this far into the season.
Yeah, I'm going to say 9. I don't think this offense is going to change. They're somehow winning games still with whatever it is that they're rolling out. And their defense isn't even that good. They've got Detroit, Dallas, Chicago, the Chargers, the Raiders, Commanders, and then Buffalo in week 17. Like, this is not a great string of matchups for them. There's a couple easy ones mixed in. I mean, Washington in week 6, week 16, Vegas in week 15, Dallas in week 12, but even Dallas's defense has gotten a little bit better as we've gotten into the season. Now, I'm not going to say that they're great, but like, I don't know, that matchup becomes a little harder. Plus, it's a division game, and we always know how those go. Right. So, yeah, this Eagles team for fantasy, Kacey, I don't know how interested I am in them at this point. You're starting Saquon Barkley, but I'm not trading for Saquon Barkley. Mm-hmm. It's simply not happening.
That's exactly it. Yep, you have to start him.
I'm starting him, but I'm not making a move for him. I'm not making a move for him in Dynasty because I think this is just kind of a harbinger of things that are coming over the next couple of seasons. We're going to see him kind of fade. Maybe a little bit slower drip than what we're watching happen to Derrick Henry this season in spurts. But yeah, I don't trust this. And same thing with A.J. Brown. Like, he's locked into this team, and I don't know who's going to trade for him in that contract at this point. So I don't see him changing teams. I'd have to look at the salary cap info to see what his dead cap hit is. But I'd imagine it's enough that, Philly probably wants to hold on to him. And he's a talented receiver when they need him to be. So it's not looking good. And like, Howie Roseman tends to find ways to do things in the offseason that perk up the team. He's one of the best GMs in football. At this point, I think Saquon's value in Dynasty is really starting to tank too because of what this offense is in general.
100%.
Well, and I understand why A.J. Brown's mad. This is supposed to be a very powerful team, right? They look very vulnerable. They lost to Denver. I know Denver's 8-2, but are they the worst 8-2 team in football?
Yes.
It won't hurt my it won't hurt my feelings. It won't hurt my feelings.
You know how.
All right, friends, we're going to move on to our next segment here, the panic meter. But before we talk about the panic meter, don't panic at all because you've got us on Discord 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, always talking football. Check out the link down below me here. Head over to Discord. It's in the show description. It's free, and we're always talking football, guys. So if you have questions, head on over. But now let's get to the panic meter, Kacey. We got 2 players at every position this week that I'm looking at and just wondering, we bought in so high on them. We're at kind of a crossroads in the season. We're quickly approaching the fantasy playoffs. They're coming up in week 15. It's week 11. This is going by very quickly. We're going to be there before we know it. A lot of your trade deadlines are ending this week. Like, you can't make a trade after this week. So you've got to think about those things you want to do that aren't related to the waiver wire to improve your rosters in redraft. Dynasty shouldn't have a trade deadline. That would be atrocious. But the first one I want to talk about is Justin Fields. He's QB 23, Kacey. It's not that he's been bad. It's that he's been really bad.
Yeah.
But when he's really good, he's really good. But those performances are coming around less and less.
Right.
Garrett Wilson is gone. They sold off their defense. I mean, really, outside of Garrett Wilson, he's got Mason Taylor, Alan Lazard, because Josh Reynolds is hurt. So what do you do with Justin Fields at this point? Because it's not going to get better than QB 23. It's only going to get worse.
Only going to get worse.
Is there a way that you can sell him right now? Or is this a situation where you almost have to hope you can find something else and just drop him?
Yeah, I'm probably dropping him. I don't know how many people you're going to get to actually to actually take interest in Justin Fields right now. I mean, if you've got those people out there in your league, by all means, but I mean, I'm probably just dropping him. Somebody else's headache. He can be somebody else's headache.
I mean, if you can find a contender, maybe, who's like, oh, I can afford to wait and see what happens when Garrett Wilson gets back. Maybe it picks up the offense a little bit and he becomes startable in 2 QB leagues. If you've got him rostered in a 1 QB league, you can let him go. There's no point to be holding on to him on your roster. Cam Ward, this is more of a dynasty long-term thing here. Right now he's QB 31. Nobody's even starting. You're not starting him in even 2 QB leagues. There isn't even a matchup that's going to make you want to start him. But this is more long-term. They fired Brian Callahan because obviously he was destroying this kid. This Tennessee team isn't good. We have no idea which direction they're going to go for a head coach.
No.
I'm worried they're going to go with like Cliff Kingsbury, which is just going to be terrible for Cam Ward. But long term, like, where do you see him here? Like, you're holding him in a dynasty league. Presumably, hopefully, you've got him on your taxi squad.
Yeah,
he's probably not coming off next season. I don't know that he's anything but a bust. And I know this is early. We're only halfway through one season. But what we've seen is a guy who looks confused on the field, probably needed a couple of years to sit. This is what I feel like we would have gotten if Malik Willis had started out of the gate.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a fair assessment.
That's a very fair assessment. And I mean, in the NFL nowadays, like, quarterbacks don't get that time. It's like they'll move on from you very quickly if you're one of these young guys. A lot of time they don't care where you were drafted, right? So, yeah. I'm not. If I have him on my dynasty roster, I am just sitting there crossing my fingers, but I don't have hope.
Would you be looking to move him?
Yes.
To someone who's maybe a little bit more hopeful?
Somebody that's more hopeful. Can. You can. Not in my leagues, but you can.
Yeah, not in my leagues either. But are you sure you don't want to trade for it? Oh, no, I don't have him in trade headaches. I'd be happy if I did. It'd be somebody I could start at least. I've got Justin Fields. I know.
Taking over teams is fun.
Yep. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. It's a bummer. But and I feel bad for the kid.
I do too.
But also, I mean, when he was coming out of Florida and like just looking at the film, there's nothing he didn't. I don't know, man. It wasn't NFL ready to me. And I think we've seen. I think what gets lost on people is the game's different. Even if you run a semi-pro style offense at the college level, it's so much faster when you get to the NFL. And sometimes guys like Cam Ward, they're never going to get there. We've seen it before. Wouldn't be the first time. So now we've got a running back I'm worried about, Kacey, Kenneth Walker over in Seattle right now. He's RB24. The thing about Kenneth Walker, though, is it's getting worse, not better. He's sliding down, and it's not good. It's not good at all. And Seattle's really not running the ball a ton, and then when they have had to run the ball in these blowouts, it's been a lot of Zach Charbonnet. So I'm not okay. Again, this is not a situation. I'm not saying he's droppable.
Right,
okay?
exactly.
He's not. You're not dropping him.
You're just going to be annoyed by him.
You're going to be annoyed by him, or you're looking to trade him to someone who believes this is going to change, which it could.
Yeah,
it very well could.
It could.
Yeah. If you head over to tools.optimusfantasy.com, actually for free on our page, you will find on the index we do have a strength of schedule tool for the playoffs and an accompanying article that will be coming out on optimusfantasy.com this afternoon. Make sure to check that out, guys. It's going to help with a lot of this playoff stuff. But Ken Walker's a guy I'm moving on from. If I can at this point, I overdrafted him. I made a mistake. I really believed that he was going to be more than he's turned out to be.
Yeah, time to correct it, so that's what we have to do.
Yep, moving on. Jordan Mason's another one. High hopes for this guy. We thought, Aaron Jones was just going to be majorly on the decline, which it kind of looked like he was. Then he gets hurt. He goes on IR. But then Aaron Jones came back 3 weeks ago, Kacey. And since then, these are Jordan Mason's point outputs in half PPR. 1.1 point, 4.2 points, and 3.6 points.
Woof, 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 big woofs.
Yep. RB31 is mostly a symptom of him being more high volume earlier in the season. Yep. It appears as though with JJ McCarthy behind center, Aaron Jones is going to be the guy. Jordan Mason, I am dropping him.
Yeah.
There's no course correction here.
Yeah. Oh. Boom. Yeah. It's pretty much, Aaron Jones, even coming back and being a little, he's still banged up, but if they're still relying on him and he's still a little banged up, then
that tells you that tells you everything you need to know.
Sorry.
It's a bummer. I did try and warn a lot of people this offseason that this could very well happen. Rookie quarterbacks like veteran running backs that do it all, and Aaron Jones is a do-it-all guy. He's not in his prime. He's not as fast as he used to be. He doesn't have as good of hands. He's not as quick. He's not going to get those yards after the catch. Easy outlet for McCarthy, who, again, has game speed problems. Keenan Allen, we're moving on to the wide receivers. This one makes me sad. He's wide receiver 21. But again, that's mostly a symptom of his early season work, Kacey. Mm-hmm. His last 3 games since the rise of Oronde Gadsden, 6.4, 5.1, and 2.9 PPR fantasy points. Is this Julio Jones all at once? Just
God, I hope not. I can see him being one of those guys that has a bounce back game here and there, but the production's just not the usage. Nah, I'm the right. Yeah, I'm sad. That's what I am.
I know. I am too.
But yeah, he's like really frustrating. You put him in at like wide receiver 3 and hope for the best.
On a certain point, there was a point where he was like wide receiver 8.
Yeah, and that was so exciting. Good for him. We didn't expect it.
Well, no, we didn't at all. Earlier in the season, 10 targets, 7 targets, 11 targets, 7 targets, 9 targets, 7 targets, 14 targets. Then in week 8 against Minnesota, it fell off. 5 targets in each of the last 3 games. His snap share has dwindled where he was like all the way up to 80 in week 4. 25% snap share in week 8, 37% snap share in week 9, 51% snap share in week 10. And we kind of knew this was coming with the onset of Oronde Gadsden. I thought it was mostly going to affect Quentin Johnston, and it has a little, but it's also pumped up Ladd McConkey, and we're seeing Keenan Allen just kind of tank because of it. I don't think you should drop him. Absolutely not. If you can afford to hold him, if you found other options to start out over him, hold on to him up until the fantasy playoffs. There are worse things you could do.
Yep.
And not a bad schedule, really. After Jacksonville this upcoming week, they've got a bye. Then they've got Vegas, Philly, Kansas City, Dallas, and Houston. Vegas, Philly, and Dallas, those are good matchups to maybe possibly flex him if you can afford to hold him. So, not a start every week guy at this point. That's okay. You make the best of what you got.
And he gave you a lot, so you should be thankful.
Yeah, he did. He's given us a lot over his whole career. One of the more fun, and I loved that Antonio Gates was at the game last weekend to see him pass his receptions franchise record. That was really cool. Yeah. Zay Flowers is up next, Kacey. Wide receiver 27 right now. But, so this is how much 1 week can affect a player's perceived fantasy value. Since week 2, he's wide receiver 37. Yeah, massive gap. Gap.
Yeah.
And I don't see it changing. I mean, if anything, it might get worse for him. It's hard to say. I don't know what this offense is. They're trying to kind of figure out what it is. So we'll have to see, right?
Yeah.
I just want to address this here real quick. Y'all don't do questions. We do questions. We're going to get to the end of this segment here, and then we will answer all of your questions here in just a moment. We'll finish out the panic meter, folks. We're almost there. We just got some tight ends to talk about. And we're going to move on to those ones here because, again, this offense now is going to get funneled back to Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, apparently, and Lamar Jackson with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. It's the winning formula for this team. Moving off of that did not work for them earlier in the season, so they're not going to.
Right.
Is he going to be wide receiver 37 bad? No. But I mean, he's kind of a back-end wide receiver 2, maybe wide receiver 3, with some risk baked in there because you could get these weeks with 2 points or he sees 3 targets and doesn't get a catch. Yeah, very much boom bust. Kyle Pitts. Tight end 17. He's been very mid in an offense with Michael Penix, who we thought was going to target him more.
Yes.
He's not doing it. Again, Kyle Pitts isn't scoring touchdowns. That's a massive problem.
Always a massive problem. Always.
And to reference back to that Friday Vibes article that's actually coming out today with some of the playoff schedules and players that are most affected by them, Kyle Pitts' fantasy playoff schedule is awful. He's already not seeing a ton of volume. His snap share is fine. But Kacey, I think this is what he is. Tight end 17 to 20.
Yeah.
You can trade him.
Right. Somebody might still think that. Because there's been those games and people were like, he's back. But
he has moments. I mean, if you catch him against a team that's bad against tight ends, maybe. There's no guarantee there either because I don't know about this Atlanta offense quarterback situation at all. Last one we're going to talk about, Hunter Henry. He's tight end 12, which, again, sounds great, right? However, since week 6, tight end 24.
Yeah.
As Drake May has gotten more comfortable with this receiving core, Henry's volume just kind of started to dip. We're not seeing the high value targets. We're not seeing the red zone targets for Henry anymore. It's just it's dead for him right now.
He's a trap, man. And
he's a trap.
It's so to see that number and then to actually see what he's done, to see what he was, what that final number is. He's not really living up to.
No, he's got since week 4, he's got 1 game with more than 5 targets. He had 6 against Atlanta. He's got 1 touchdown since week 4. He had a touchdown against Cleveland in week 8. It was his only target against Cleveland.
Touchdown dependent.
You
gotta hope.
But it's confusing too because you see his snap share and you're like, oh, okay. It's just that you've got Stephon Diggs, Kayshon Boutte when he's healthy, who's ahead of him as a receiver. Demario Douglas is starting to get downfield work. We're seeing Mac Hollins get worked into the offense as a reliable target. So these things are all going to ding Henry rest of season, and their playoff schedule is awful for the fantasy playoffs. So Not saying you can drop. Maybe there's somebody in your league who believes in him, but it's not going to be me. I'm not trading for him at all.
Sorry.
All right. Before we move on to our best and worst of the week, got a few questions in the chat I want to get to. Casey, first, we've got Alex Saban 910 over on YouTube. I traded Nico Collins and Saquon Barkley for JSN and Etienne in week 4. Then later I traded Etienne and Gadsden for Mbuka. What do you think of my trades? Okay, so I'm going to start getting rid of Nico's tough, but injuries, quarterback situation, okay, I get it. You got JSN back. I'm not mad about it. Barkley for Etienne, as it turns out, early season was probably a good move. I don't know. It's not looking... I was looking almost even at this point. I mean, Etienne hasn't been phenomenal. We knew there was going to be some fall off. But moving Etienne and Gadsden for Mbuka, I'm going to assume you're running back heavy here. You ended up trading Nico and Barkley for JSN and Emeka Egbuka. There's no world in which I would be upset for that. I don't love that you had to get rid of Arondé Gadsden to get him.
Yeah, that's the only thing, but it's okay.
Emeka Egbuka is a star. So, yeah, I'm happy with this.
Yeah. You have a strategy, I'm sure. And I always like it when you can track your trades like this. It's always fun to see. So.
I know it is. I love that. All right, Casey. ZBFP on Twitch. Do we like trading Cortland Sutton, Lad McConkey, or Rome Odunze for Bucky Irving right now? Bucky Irving is back at practice. We've seen him kind of doing walkthroughs. We don't necessarily know right now exactly what that means for his game status this weekend. I'm assuming he's probably not going to play. I pulled him out of my rankings already for the week. I don't know that I'd make this move. I mean, if you need a running back and you want to, obviously you've got plenty of receivers. If you're thinking about trading these guys, find a better running back to trade for, somebody who's going to be available maybe this week, because you're giving away a high value asset at wide receiver. So if you're going to make this trade straight up, you're going to need more, either get Bucky plus or go for a higher rated running back.
I agree with that.
Yep. And find somebody who needs a wide receiver as well, because you might be able to get a higher rated running back and more. Yep. Brian Rockwood, guys, you can check him out on our Vibes article. I believe he wrote up running backs, which was fantastic. Go check that out. It's going to be a big help for your playoff lineups, guys. He likes shipping Sutton for Bucky. If we're talking dynasty, okay. Long term, don't hate that at all. I'm assuming in this vacuum that we're talking redraft here. And if it's redraft, I have a really hard time moving any 3 of those guys for Bucky for the rest of this season. We've got ASET7YJ on YouTube. First seed in a 12-team Start 11 Dynasty Superflex. Do I sell Burrow and Bucky for Josh Allen? Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If you can, yep.
Yeah. Look, I know Burrow's back at practice. He's shooting to start week 13. That's great. What does his foot think about this? That's what I need to know, and that's what I need to see, because he could get back to practice so we could get through this week and next, and they could basically decide, yeah, he's not ready to go. We're not rolling him out.
Yeah.
They could end up sitting him for the rest of the season. Season's pretty much over. They're out of it. Why are you rolling out your multi-million-dollar quarterback when you've got Joe Flacco, who will do just fine for you? All right, we have got Nino Pena 7054 on YouTube. Redraft 10-man league, got offered Caleb Williams, Kamani Vidal, Emeka Egbuka just for Josh Allen. Honestly, don't really love the New England, Cleveland, Philly playoff matchups for Josh anyways. Josh Allen is Josh Allen, though.
This is one that I would think about for days before I made a decision, probably. But let me see. Trying to hone it.
If you're in contention, like,
I don't think I would do it.
I don't think I would either. Caleb isn't a reliable replacement. I see what his schedule with Caleb Williams. I mean, you've got rest of the way, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Philly, Green Bay, Cleveland, Green Bay, San Francisco, Detroit. That is a tough playoff schedule. And I know Allen's playoff schedule might be tough too, but I don't know that you're going to get back those points by rolling out Vidal and Egbuka over anybody you have in your lineup. I don't think it's going to, yeah, you're not going to get those points back. So I would not make that move. Yeah. Maybe in Dynasty, Probably not in Dynasty. Well, maybe in Dynasty, but I'd have to have another solid quarterback on my roster
Yeah.
to be willing to make that move. I think Caleb's going to be good. I just don't know how far off it is. So makes it kind of hard to want to do. Yep. All right. We did our job doing the Lord's work over here. We talked him out of it. So woohoo. All right, Kacey, let's move on to our best and worst of this week. I legitimately have not looked at yours yet. Hey, we didn't match this week.
We did not.
I like your best. This is a good game.
Okay. Yeah.
I went a little homer, but let's talk about yours first.
Let's talk about mine first. Okay, so we're talking about my best game. I don't want to talk about the worst one. All right, best game. Rams at Seahawks. So 2-7-2 teams. Same division. Should be good for our fantasy managers. Plus Cooper Kupp revenge game, question mark. No, but you know. It I think it's going to be an exciting one. So I look forward to seeing that one.
Oh, I do too. In a dome at SoFi. Division rivals. Mm-hmm. This is for the division lead, right? This is going to be a great game. Yeah. Matthew Stafford versus Sam Darnold, JSN versus Puka. I think this is where we see Rashid Shaheed maybe kind of get more involved in that Seattle offense, which will be fun. He'll have a full week with the playbook.
Right.
Plus. So it would not surprise me to see him get more involved. It should be great. I'm looking forward to it. Mine's a little bit of a homer one. The Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Denver Broncos. Look, Denver wins this game. They have a 4-game lead in the division in the AFC West. Talk about division rivalries here, which is a big deal for us Bronco fans over here in Denver. I mean, this is like our Super Bowl, like low key, not going to lie. But what's more exciting about it is, I know Denver's offense has been sloppy. They're not scoring a lot of points. They've relied on their defense to shut things down. They're going to have to score 20-something points in this game. But somehow, some way, no matter what, Denver finds a way to play Kansas City tough every year, whether it's in Denver or it's in Kansas City. Sean Payton understands they've got to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going,
I look forward to this one.
Yeah. I'm hoping Denver comes out of this game 9-2. I think it's entirely possible. But yeah. My not so favorite game though, Washington at Miami, technically at Miami. This game's in Madrid, Spain. It's the 9:30 a.m. game, 7:30 a.m. for me, 6:30 a.m. for those of you on the Pacific Coast. That's too damn early for a crappy football game. We do have the start-sit show at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wake up for that. I'll be waking up for that one, mostly because I'm on it. But wake up for that. You don't have to wake up for this game.
I mean, I probably won't wake up for this game.
Oh.
Sorry. I need my rest, I'm old.
This is a good time to catch some of that rest. You're not missing anything exciting.
I'll catch up the highlights.
Yeah. All right. Yours, I'm surprised. This is a homer pick too.
It's a homer pick because I'm so frustrated right now. No, the Dallas at Vegas. Monday Night Football. 2 teams that have been underperforming, to say the least. Dallas it's on my naughty list for the holidays. They're not making me happy right now. Plus, I hate this YouTube TV, ESPN, Disney baloney that's going on. Yeah. I don't want to have to go out to watch the game. I don't want a $20 credit. I don't want my bills to go up. I just want you guys to be nice to me. Thank you. That's all I ask. I just be nice. We're already struggling with our teams not performing the way we want. Now our streaming services, I mean, jeez.
Do you remember when all the streaming services was supposed to make life easier than cable? Now I'm just like, God, just give me cable back.
I can't believe
I don't want to give DirecTV my money, but unless they want to sponsor us, DirecTV, if you're out there,
and totally
your reputation is taking a hit. Sponsor us. Just come on, you want to. Yeah. All right. Well, before we get on to our final segment on the spot, we've got this one from Tron Force on YouTube, Kacey. Do you guys think I can roll with this wide receiver room the rest of this season? This is a PPR league. Nico Collins, Devonta Smith, Chris Olave, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, who's obviously injured right now. Starting running backs are CMC, Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Warren. How do you feel about this?
I feel like it kind of depends on who you have at quarterback for starters, because I need to know. Like, I think you could roll with it. I would feel a little bit more comfortable having a more solid wide receiver, one that's not injured. But
Sure.
obviously. But I think you can roll with it. Dart and Flacco.
Yeah.
I think you can roll with it.
Yeah, you can roll with it. I mean, you might need to. I would at some point, because Dart and Flacco is dangerous. Because if they shut Dart down for the season,
which they could,
which they could, and Burrow comes back and Flacco's on the bench, you might need to move for a quarterback, which you might need to use maybe like a combo of like Deebo and Jalen Warren to do. But that's hopefully not going to be a problem. That's a future you problem. Don't worry about this.
Future you problem. You can roll with it right now, I think. So
yeah, we're getting too deep into the weeds here.
And also checking waivers. If there's somebody on your roster that you can part with, check waivers to see if you could stream wide receivers too, if you need to.
Yeah, that's not a bad option at all. I had Jaden Daniels and traded Parker Washington for Dart. Dude, that's a good move. Yeah, things are getting weird.
It is a very very crazy.
If it makes you feel any better, 2 weeks ago I was playing my brother-in-law in my home league. All of my quarterbacks were either hurt or on bye, and it was very sudden injury developments as the week was approaching. So I had to make a trade. So I was like, hey, this is awesome. I got somebody who will trade Daniel Jones because, I mean, hey, they've got 4 quarterbacks. Trades me Daniel Jones. I'm like, sold. I'm going to win this week. Set. First down week of the season from Daniel Jones. Well, what can you do? Yeah. I don't know. All right, we've got this one from Nino Pena. Got a start sit question for us. Needs to start one here. This is obviously going to be a flex position. We will assume PPR. Brees versus New England tonight. Tet McMillan versus Atlanta, or DeAndre Swift versus the Minnesota Vikings. I'm leaning Tet.
Yeah, me too. But
yeah,
that's who I would go with.
Yeah, I've got Tet the highest in my flex rankings, which you can find on optimusfantasy.com under the weekly rankings tab up at the top. Tet McMillan. Yep. Don't love Bryce Young, but I do love Tet McMillan. I love what the kids
right.
Yeah. Yep. And just so you guys know, I want to remind you again, I've mentioned this article like 6 times today during this show, but we're going to throw it up here one more time for Mr. Lou Brunson over on Twitch. We have articles coming out that will help you judge streaming all these positions throughout the fantasy playoffs. That is our Friday Vibes article coming out in 2 parts. You can find it on optimusfantasy.com. That will drop today. If you're looking for it, head over to Reddit, r/fantasy football. You can find all of our content over there as well. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you guys, head over to @news.optimusfantasy.com. That is on the Blue Sky machine. Fantastic news updates from Carly Manger. She is on it 24/7. The best news source on Blue Sky right now. So make sure you go and check her out. Now for On the Spot, week 11, Kacey, I did not tell you what this is going to be. I didn't put it in the show sheet. I didn't even put it on the graphic just in case you started.
He knows I have anxiety.
Stuff. So here's the thing. How many interceptions does Jameis Winston throw?
3.
3?
Sure.
So I put on Blue Sky. This is what we're getting from Jameis Winston. Like 370, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Alrighty.
It's kind of what I think we're going to get. 4 picks. But you know what? They're going to be the 4 most fun interceptions you've seen.
It's going to be fun.
All season.
Yeah.
All season. Yeah.
It'll be
the only thing that could be more fun is watching Deshaun Watson throw an interception and be his only pass of the season. But anyway, I digress. We've got one more question. I know, that would be amazing. All right. One more before we get out of here, folks. Alex Savin 910 on YouTube. This is my team for the rest of season. What do you think, Kacey? Drake May, Trevion Henderson, Quinshawn Judkins, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Amika Igbuka, Trey McBride, JJ. Bench is Woody, Bucky, Harvey, Wandale, Loveland, Pierce, Tua, 10-man PPR. We're assuming JJ is Justin Jefferson here. That's a pretty solid team.
Yeah, that's solid. I like it.
Yeah.
So my team for the rest of the season, I think you have a solid team. I love that Drake May right there.
Oh.
With the chef's kiss right there.
Why is Drake May so underrated, Kacey? He's like QB4.
I don't know. It does seem like that, like if I'm just talking to people about quarterbacks.
They never want to talk about Drake May.
Either. Maybe it's because it's just, I don't know. Drake May is not the flashy in your face kind of guy. I don't know.
Drake May is QB1 by 0.2 of a point over Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Put some respect on his name.
That's MVP
that's all I'm
caliber
saying.
Drake May.
Absolutely. This team is also 8-2 coming into this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I love Trevion Henderson if Ramondre Stevenson stays off the field. I mean, that's going to have to happen. Yes, and Tron Force, I don't disagree. 2 of those are going to be pick sixes. It's why I'm saying, guys, DFS, if you're streaming defenses and somehow Green Bay is available in your league because you have a lot of defensive streamers, you want this Green Bay defense this weekend. Mike Reedy and I will talk about it more tomorrow on the DFS show, which you can find on this channel. We've actually got a lot you can find here, guys. Friday Vibes tomorrow night with myself and Mr. Keith Fleming. We'll roll through all the action to help get you ready for the weekend. And then Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can check in with Lou and myself for all of your start-sit questions. We'll be live here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. So make sure you like this video on whatever platform you're watching and follow this channel so you don't miss any of the action. And while you're at it, head over to tools.optimusfantasy.com. We've got an all-new league manager function with waiver wire advice, a lineup optimizer as well, plus DFS optimizers and betting tools and lots of data. Get a 2-week free trial with the code ThanksOptimus. We'll be running that here for the next week or so, so make sure you get in before it's done. That's 2 free weeks to peruse through our tools and check everything out. All right, Kacey. I think that does it for us. Good luck, guys.
Good luck.
Have a great week 11. Make sure you check us out tomorrow on the DFS show, and then on Friday Vibes, and again on Sunday. Then, of course, I'll be back for the Express with Mr. Kevin Tompkins on Sunday night. But until then, folks, I'm Nate Polvogt for Kacey Kasem. Good luck this week, and we'll see you later.